Alright lads, and so today continuing on with the character showcases highlighting the newest resurrectable characters. For today's video, we're here to look at the new resurrected Bambietta, who very similar to Candice, who we did showcase yesterday, got a very solid resurrection that generally makes her a more fun character. Now lucky for you Bambietta fans, even if for some reason you don't want to use this character, you already have access to a good Bambietta with the recent 1000 Year Blood War one, the anime 1000 Year Blood War Bambietta, and then of course we also know we're going to get more Bambiettas in the future, potentially a zombie Bambietta, and of course a new Bambietta, which would more so be a remake of this one in her Volstatic form. But this Bambietta honestly aged quite well in terms of visuals, and the character itself got a really good buff. So one of the best things about this Bambietta's resurrection is of course the soul trait, originally being 12% recharge, now being that with the addition of offering 20% more strong attack damage when at full stamina. It's a very powerful soul trait, really good for characters like Yachiru Unohana. This is one of her best links, and again, like any resurrectable character, you can now potentially max transcend them through these special move trial quests. Mine is currently 2 out of 5, so we're only going to be playing single player content today, but if I ever do get a third copy, I can then get her 5 out of 5 through the special move trial quest, which is something that I'm definitely going to want to do because again, she is a really good soul trait for my future and better speed characters. Having a look at the extra skills that she did pick up, again, the new thing we are seeing here with these 1000 Year Blood War resurrection characters is that they are picking up 2 new innate skills. And in her case, she got a 20% team heal every time you move to another map. It's honestly a pretty good skill, and it makes sense too, because again, she did pick up the new soul trait where she wants to stay at full stamina, and with this new team party heal, she's able to potentially stay at full stamina a lot more easier. Alongside that, she did get a 30% damage to burning enemies. Now, this was originally 20%, and it was in her skill section, but it did get moved up into her innate skill. So this isn't entirely a new skill, but it did go up by 10%. Her berserker value, which currently is 66, originally was 20%, now went up to 30%. We are, of course, using accessories and also links, taking that up to 66%. But she also did get an additional 30% strong attack damage when once more at full stamina. So right now, from the soul trait and the skill, she has a 50% strong attack damage increase when at full stamina, which again further emphasizes how good this skill is to keep herself at full stam. And then she also did get an increased chance to inflict stat elements against power attribute Soripers. So really good utility skill here. This is going to be good for content like inheritance trials if you do want to use her, although it is limited to only being used in power Soriper IT. So while we can't really demonstrate it to the best of her abilities, whenever there are power Soriper enemies, we definitely will try her again because she's not just going to be really good in that quest. And again, it makes sense too because she also does want to do damage to burning enemies. So all the skills that she did pick up, it just makes sense together. She wants to be at full stamina to do more damage, and with that, she has a way to stay at full stamina, and then she also wants to do more damage to burning enemies, and with that, she has an easier time doing that, at least when against Soripers. So I would already say this is a really good resurrection, really good soul trait, more utility skills, and of course more damage output. Can't really complain too much. For the showcase today, we are going to be using a Quincy Cross, a Fortification Pill, and of course also a Kate Fastener, all given an additional SP. For the soul traits, we have Ichigo given a 14% recharge and also 16% strong attack damage. We have Momo with recharge and full stamina, and then Chad with full stamina and also recharge. And then bonus abilities, which we actually have to put on right now. I'm personally going to give her, again, full stamina. And personally, I like playing with characters with long strides, so we're going to use that as a second bonus ability. Alright, so here we go. First up, we're going to go to Inheritance Trials. Again, we did briefly check out the character before resurrecting, but I really do like this character's visuals. Like, everything about her, I actually really do like. And I feel like the upcoming Bambietta, whenever we do get a Volstatic form, has some tough competition, despite there being like 4 years apart, right? If anything, what the new one will definitely look better is in the animation for the Volstatic, right? And of course the model. But in terms of strong attack visuals, I mean, this Bambietta is almost one of the best in the game. So her Nat even looks great too. Perfect way to demonstrate her bomb attack that she can do. Unfortunately, even though her summon core is her bombs can't be guarded, I mean, these enemies right here do be guarded. Her SA1 though is going to be an AoE in front of her. It kind of pushes them back and then does an AoE at the end. It kind of makes sense in the context of the animation. Is it the best strong attack one? I mean, it's serviceable. You can see that it does actually kill. And unfortunately, there are hidden enemies here. So for our next run, we are going to give her the hidden enemy skill through either bonus ability or through the Zeta Pool accessory. SA2 is a 960 in front of her. What I really do like about this character's visuals is you can actually see the sparks themselves. Besides the SA1, but if you look at the SA2, you'll see like the pink sparks, and then they blow up. And again, they look great, right? Her SA3, again, one of the best looking in the entire game. It is referencing this particular scene, by the way. It's when she gets angry because all the other Bambis left her. So yeah, the SA3, she charges up, then she lets off a power attack. A very powerful attack, and again, it looks really good, but I know there was obviously some complaints, especially when using an epic raid when she was a bonus, because it really does block your screen. And in epic raids where you really have to play it fast, you have to know where the enemies are, or most of the attack patterns, I mean, they can get in your way, right? Here we go, though, jump into the final stage. Let's use our Soul Bomb. So yeah, really cool stuff. What was that playtime that we're looking like? Not the fastest. We weren't really trying to go for a fast playtime for our very first clear. We're just trying to demonstrate the character. Still plays really good. Honestly, that's what we're seeing nowadays, though, with these new characters, that most of them do have good kits. You know, Candice and also BAMBIETTA in particular, they already had Havoc, so the only thing they really needed was more damage and utility effects, and that's what BAMBIETTA did get. Of course, her damage output is not going to compete against the newest characters, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. We got a 2-minute clear time, and since she's all around doing damage to enemies, inflicting star elements, you know, inflicting burn, and also has an increased chance to do so, if you have the Sangdu link, it might not be a bad idea to actually put it on her when actually playing with her. I would do that, but unfortunately, I don't own Sangdu in my account. Let's try that again, though. This time we have given the character hit enemies, and the way we've done it is through bonus abilities. So now we can actually kill potentially multiple ways, right? Unfortunately, I've gotten frozen, but that's fine. We shouldn't really get hits here. We didn't. Let's go. There we go. Unfortunately, we have exchanged the long stride for the hit enemies, but it's fine. We're not killing that fast that we actually need long stride. SA1 did a decent amount of damage there. We actually killed the SA3, so we can actually see the extra 50% damage is coming in clutch. Let's use the SA2 into the 1. The SA1, again, very awkward attack. I think you want to kind of position yourself far away to do most of its damage, but you need to make sure you get a direct hit, because you can see there the enemy on the left actually did stay alive. So let's use it here. And you can see that I kind of killed... You know, just a couple more hits, right, we have to do. Take them out. The SA2 and 3 feel very, very good. I mean, even to this day, the character is very smooth to play with, right? There we go. The SA2 did the job there. We're going to go up here, use our SA1, and then I think our Soul Bomb should be good enough here to actually kill all these enemies. There we go. Didn't completely wipe, but that's fine. Again, most of the damage buffs that we did get here come from the strong attack damage, so kind of expected the Soul Bomb wouldn't actually kill there. But let's see if we can actually kill with the SA3. Yes, we can. Again, completely covering the screen with the explosion effects, right? Which is kind of what you want to see with BAMBIETTA. She's a character that's like, gets angry super quick and just lets off crazy amount of explosions. In this case, for only single player IT, 1 minute and 9 seconds, it's respectable. If we were to take it into Inheritance Trials, we would probably get like a 2 minute and 30, maybe closer to 3 minutes. But granted, she doesn't have killer, and she's also 2 out of 5 right now. I would take into co-op content, but... You know, ideally with characters like this, since their damage output is lacking, you want to have them max transcended. That's why yesterday we showcased Candice, because she was max transcended. This BAMBIETTA, unfortunately, not close enough yet, but eventually I will get a 5-5, just need to pull her 1 more copy. Let's try her out in single player ISD though, just to see what damage is looking like right now on all the attacks. Can't really see much there on the SA1, but the SA2 looks to be doing 35k a hit, which is pretty good. Not super crazy, but good enough, right? It depends on what you want to do with this character. Like, you know, BBS is quite easy as is, right? If you just want to have a bit of fun with your favorite characters, you can definitely do this with this BAMBIETTA. And now with her damage increase, you could probably get away using her in Guild Quest if you really want to, assuming you have a good support. But what is she? She's a ranged Striper Killer. So ranged Striper Killer has access to some pretty decent supports. You might be able to get away with it. SA1 does the job there. SA2, again, doing 36k. Unfortunately, no Swipers available right now. But the SA3 is also doing like 38k. And I've only just realized now that the SA3 has like 2 parts to it. And there's a split between the hits. So like if we actually wait for the SA3 to come back, she'll do her first initial hits during the charge up attack. And then she'll like let go and let out the explosions. So unfortunately we got hit here. Great. Oh my god. There we go. Let's get out of it. So let's see the hit. So she does a hit there, and then like there's like a slight, very slight pause between the final part of the SA3. Let's finish up with the 2 though. I really do like that this BAMBIETTA is flying. At no point is she really hitting the sky, and even when she's doing her strong attack, she's going even higher. So it's really cool. Would love to see the new BAMBIETTA follow suit, because she is one of those stand bridges that can actually fly in her full standing, which surprisingly we don't see much of. Maybe we do. Maybe I just don't realize it. I don't know. Let's try that once more, though. All right, then, attack number 2, Inheritance Zone. What we have gone ahead and done right now is bring Basby, just so we can ensure that we can actually inflict a Stasment against the final boss, just to see that extra 30% damage to burning enemies in action. Right now, for the most part, it doesn't look like it helps that much, given that we're just basically one-shotting the enemies. But you know, in Inheritance Trials, for example, where you're constantly going to be inflicting Stasments, burn in particular, it's definitely going to come in clutch, right? At least when you're going against Soripers. Let's use the 1 there. finish up with the 2. Again, 2 feels very satisfying to use here. Let's go up here, use our SA3, and then finish up with the 2. Although it looks like we didn't even need to use the SA2 there. Hallibell's coming up. Let's go switch to Basby. Here we go. Let's use our Soul Bomb. Skip it. And then, unfortunately, I have no SA3 to follow suit. So we kind of messed up there. But what we're going to do now is quickly use it again. Let's just make sure we take the hit first. There we go. Absolute choke of the run. Oh my god. So I definitely didn't just revive there. Let's use our Soul Bomb now. And then go close. Use our SA3. 40k. 40k damage on a critical. Not too bad. Now, I guess since it is available, Cobb Droplet Zone actually has Swiper enemies. So let's try her in here just so we can see what the damage numbers are looking like against Swipers. In this case, looks a lot better. 60k against a Swiper, which is actually really good. And a boss spawned in. There we go. Let's absolutely wipe out Isane. Damn. With our SA3. Crazy stuff. So again, what I'm seeing here is like it's fairly enjoyable gameplay and good damage numbers, all things considered, with the extra utility effect that we can actually apply burn more consistently. So, I mean, if you really want to use them against Swiper enemies when Inheritance Shards comes around, you can definitely do that. Again, I'm at the point right now, and I've always been like that, to be fair, where like I just enjoy using my favorite characters. That SA3 felt very cool to do that. Although, again, it's a very weird pause in between the SA3. You do the initial attack, there's a very slight pause, and then you do the extra attack. I don't mind it, though, because it does look a lot more cool that way. So, again, if we do it here, attack, and then it does, like, a second attack. And you can see there the boss got taken down super quick in the second half of the SA3. Don't really want to use my Soul Bomb here, so let's just go ahead and use the SA1, and then drop that nuke with the SA2. Look at that, man. That's good. That's good. That's enjoyable. We'll try that once more. Look at Renji and Ichigo on the floor. Unfortunately, we're not going against any Sergeant, but in this case, a 1 minute and 7 clear time in Droplet Zone. It's Droplet Zone. It's not super hard anyway, right? But she is a ranged character, so she will be attacking from afar. So I don't think playing her in co-op IT, for example, would be that difficult. All right, then attempt number 2. Let's see if we can just speed up through this without the fact that I don't have Long Stride. SA2 there. 71k on the SA2. And then finish up Isane with the SA3. Look at that. Nice and easy stuff. Let's go here, use the SA1. Decent back range to the SA1, to be fair. I haven't played with this character for quite some time. And truth be told, I never played with her all that much. Even though she was, again, a really cool character. I'm a massive fan of the Bambietta group. Bambietta included, right? I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of gotten over Bambietta as of late. Mainly because we already have 2 Bambiettas in the game. Like, out of all the Stamritter, while I am looking forward to a Volstanic form, and also potentially Zombie Bambietta in the future, since that will most likely be tied with Giselle, unfortunately, we did take a hit there. You know, I'm more excited for characters that aren't in the game. You know, Bambietta, I've been technically playing with her. Not that much, to be fair. Can't really remember why, because I actually had to give her level 10 SP and level 10 focus for this showcase. Usually, if I used the character actively, I would have already worked on them. But then again, I think I did use her quite a bit. I just didn't work on her, like, after a year or so when Inheritance Shards came out. When, you know, resources were a bit more available. Before, back then, you'd be really picky. And if you're new to the game, you still have to be a type of picky on what character you decide to invest in. But for me, as someone that's been playing this game for years, I have plenty of resources. So I can really work on anyone I want to, right? Including a character like this, just for a Resurrection showcase. In this case, though, 1 minute and 4 second clear time. Honestly, not too bad. Again, we definitely will try and showcase it in the future whenever there are sword enemies in Inheritance Shards. Because that's, in my opinion, where she can best demonstrate her powers, her new Resurrection, given that she does have now an increased chance to inflict star ailments against power attribute Soripers. So yeah, overall, lads, very solid upgrade in my opinion. Again, what you want to see with Resurrection characters is making the characters more fun. And that's exactly what this character did. She's definitely a lot different now compared to her prior to Resurrecting. More damage output, 60% more strong attack damage to be exact, 50% at full stamina, and then she did get an extra 10% Berserker. If you do inflict a status ailment, which she now has an increased chance to do so against power attribute Soripers, you then do 30% more damage. So really solid upgrade in my opinion. And that's many thanks to the fact that, again, these characters now get 2 innate abilities, so more skills, more ways to become better, and then most importantly, she is at the very least a very powerful soul trait, one of the best in the speed attribute. So if you don't want to use her, you can definitely get your value from resurrecting her just from the orbs alone, and of course also the soul trait to make one of the best characters in the game, Yachi Unohana, even better. Either way, let me know what you guys think of best character in the comments below. How do you feel about her resurrection? I'm curious to know, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.